Hello, hello, Sarah Breitlander here with KRAIN Real Estate in Costa Rica. So if you like these videos, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel if you find these informative videos helpful. Today I want to talk about the buying process in Costa Rica and what that looks like. So for my clients who have bought and sold real estate in the United States and Canada, they're going to find the process very similar. Possibly a bit simpler, but very similar, and so their comfort level is usually very high, and that's one of the reasons that so many people purchase homes here in Costa Rica. So, the property is titled. You'll be using an escrow company, just like in the United States and Canada. Here we have escrow companies that hold third-party funds, right? We pay them to do that so that the money is secure. We have Secure Title Latin America, we have TLA, we have Geldstock, so we have escrow company options. They are all regulated by SUHEF, which is the government entity that regulates banking here in Costa Rica. So they're all SUHEF registered. So in terms of the timing, what you will see, the timing is almost like spelled out in the purchase and sell agreement, the PSA. So most of my clients will come down to Costa Rica, find a home that they love, then we're going to submit a purchase and sell agreement. Once that is accepted and agreed to and signed by both parties, that's when the clock starts ticking. So from the date of the last party's signature, typically the timeline is as follows. The buyer will have anywhere from 10 to 14 calendar days to send down 10% of the purchase price as escrow funds. This is earnest money. This shows good faith by the buyer that they're serious. This goes to the third party escrow company to be held. You will have to fill out know your client forms for this. Costa Rica is very stringent and very strict with anti-money laundering laws. So you will have to fill out all the know your client forms before the escrow companies will even give you the wire information to make the wire. So be prepared to fill out that paperwork. Once the money is received, that shows everybody, all the professionals, that okay, this deal's moving along in good faith. So then the attorneys will start working. You do need a Costa Rican attorney, a Costa Rican real estate transactional attorney to act as the closing attorney. That attorney, part of his due diligence, or his or her due diligence, will be reviewing the chain of title to make sure the title is free and clear of any encumbrances. Also, we, your real estate professionals, will be making sure that we schedule a home inspector. That's at a buyer's cost because it protects the buyer. Currently, that cost is around $500, but really the home inspector will give you a quote based on the location and the size of the home. Another thing, especially for single family homes, is that you'll want to hire a surveyor. Again, that's a buyer cost because it's part of your due diligence work. And the surveyor will go out to the property and just ensure that the boundaries are where they say they are and that they're correct in the national registry called the National Registro here. So those are all things that are going to be happening during the due diligence. Also, many of the homes here are sold fully furnished. So in the PSA, you will see that the seller typically has around 7 calendar days to give a list of any items excluded from the sale. Really is never a problem, but sometimes there's a piece of artwork or something that's sentimental that the seller will exclude from the sale. And you'll be able to accept or reject that during due diligence. Also, you'll look at the homes being used as a vacation rental. You'll want to look at those rents, and then you have the option as a buyer to either accept or reject those rentals depending on your needs for the home. So from soup to nuts, so we start out with the 10 to 14 days to get the money down here. Then starts the due diligence period, which everything I mentioned just then happens during that time frame. Due diligence, the attorneys and the professionals, they usually need around 2 to 3 weeks for that due diligence period. Now that due diligence date, I always call that the drop dead date, because that's the date that you as the buyer need to tell us, okay, Sarah, I've reviewed all of this and I'm proceeding with the purchase. Because if you say that and then for whatever reason you don't proceed with the purchase, that 10% escrow money will go to the seller in good faith, okay? If you tell us on that date, you know what, for whatever we found during the inspection, for whatever reason, I'm not moving forward with this deal, and you're led and you're giving notification in the due diligence period, then the escrow monies are returned to you, just like in the United States, fully to the buyer, minus wire transfer fees, of course. So that's a little bit about what the due diligence process looks like. And after that due diligence date, really the only thing left to do is for the buyer to send the remaining monies to to purchase the home, plus all of the closing costs. So that's how it works, and that really only takes 5 to 7 calendar days. So from soup to nuts, the process is between 30 and 45 days to close on a home here. If you submit an offer that shortens that period, all things considering, your offer will be considered a stronger offer for any seller because they get their money quicker, right? Or if you have to stretch those dates out, all other things considered, your offer may be considered weaker than any other offers coming in. So I hope that helps just by way of explanation. Closing costs, I get this a lot. So when I say closing costs, we're including the whole ball of wax. We're including the attorney fees, escrow fees, transfer and stamp taxes, and that cost generally, minus the surveyor, minus the building inspector, that's separate. That number generally is about 4.4%. Typically, at least in the areas, the Flamingo, Potrero, Tamarindo areas, typically that's split 50-50 between the buyer and the seller, meaning your portion of that is about 2.2%. In other areas of Costa Rica, it's very typical for the buyer to pay closing cost because the seller is responsible for paying real estate commissions, and that's kind of the thought process there. So it depends on where you're purchasing in Costa Rica. Of course, that's always, again, negotiable, but I'm just reporting back to you what we see. So I think that's it. Real estate commissions are always paid for the seller, so that's not a buyer cost. That's not a concern for our buyers. I think that's everything. So let me know if you have any follow-up questions. I love to share these informative videos with my clients. Again, my goal is to just help prepare you to purchase a home and move down here, maybe on a part-time basis, just a visiting basis, or a full-time basis. That's our goal. So thank you so much for your time. You can always reach out to us at 1-866-994-9163. Again, my name is Sarah Breitlander with KRAIN. Thank you for your time, and Pura Vida.